everybody, I'm Aubrey, and this is what's coming up in ICC Athletics presented by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. On Monday, the baseball team will travel to Snead State for a doubleheader starting at 1 p.m. On Tuesday, the softball team will hit the road to Northwest Shoals for a doubleheader scheduled to start at 2 p.m. The tennis teams will be at home against Hines. Both the women's and men's matches will start with doubles play around 2 p.m. Wednesday, the baseball team will host a triple header with Northwest and Northeast. The Indians will face Northwest at 11 a.m. and will close out the day against Northeast at 6 p.m. On Thursday, the tennis teams will travel to Jones with the opening serve scheduled for 2 p.m. As of right now, we don't have anything scheduled for Friday, but on Saturday, the tennis teams will host Indiana Wesleyan at 9 a.m. Next week, we'll also begin the Region 23 basketball tournament for both the women's and men's basketball teams. The schedule wasn't officially set in time for the show, but you can visit letsgoicc.com to find out more information. As always, the schedule is subject to change due to weather, so be sure to follow Let's Go ICC on your favorite social media platforms and visit letsgoicc.com for any changes made to this week's schedule. And as always, roll Tribe!
Ankle sprains are one of the most common sports injuries, with an estimated 25,000 occurring every day in the United States. Sprains can happen with any sport, including just walking across the yard. Ankle sprains are most common in ball sports such as basketball, soccer, volleyball, and others. As with any injury, your body quickly sends blood to start healing the process, which leads to the swelling. Rest, ice, compression, elevation, known as RICE, is a good way to treat an ankle sprain. This decreases the swelling, lessens your pain, and allows your body to heal the injury. Studies have shown that the sooner you return to activity, the better and typically the faster you will recover. Depending on the amount of injury to the ligaments, it may be days, weeks, or even months to return to high-intensity sports. Sometimes recovery may be slow, but if it gets better day by day or week by week, you are on the right path. If the ankle seems to stop improving and you just can't get back to your activities, then it's time to come see us at the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. Remember, our story is you.
We're going to step inside the ICC Spotlight, brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, and talk about our Little Tribe camp that's coming up. And we've got Coach Kareem Moore joining us today. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me, Adam, man. Glad to be here.
So this Little Tribe camp, it's already got a lot of buzz on social media. Tell us about what the camp is.
Just a way to give back to the community, first of all. Just really get some kids out there, get them to run around a little bit, learn the fundamentals of football. Also give them a little sportsmanship, teach them a little leadership skills as well.
Now, I know I had a couple of parents message me either directly or on Facebook, and one of their concerns was, hey, is this going to be where the kids are padded up? Are they going to be in contact? But it's nothing like that.
No pads or anything, really more teaching, slow it down for them, try to give them the fundamentals where they're playing Pee-wee coming up, or they might make that transition going into junior high. Just trying to teach them the basic fundamental skills of playing football.
All right, now it's basically an introduction to football, and I know there's a lot of parents right now, of course, with a lot of attention to concussions and things like that might be hesitant to have a young child play football at an early age. So this is really a good way for them to see, A, if they want to play, but B, learn how to love the game of football.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Definitely a way to gauge the interest, but also a way for them to learn more as far as the teaching skills. Hey, how certain ways I turn my body, certain way of going out there doing a specific drill as far as footwork, hand placement, hat placement as far as when I do get my pads and helmets on. Just help them overall the knowledge of the game. So like you said, maybe help them fall in love with it a little more.
Absolutely, and we're talking with Coach Kareem Moore about the Little Tribe Camp for March the 11th. You can find out more by visiting letsgoicc.com. Now, Coach, talk about just some of the things that the kids will be doing during that camp.
Just really teaching them basic fundamentals of stances, whether it's the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball, going as far as, hey, teaching them about cadence, how to start a play, things to look for as far as splits, alignments, as far as the offensive set or defensive set goes. Just really going to be out there. They're going to know more once they leave. They might be a better coach than a better player. Hey, like you said, if they wanted to play on each side, we just wanted to make it fun, but also a learning experience for them.
Absolutely. Put the fun in fundamentals.
Oh, most definitely.
I like it. Well, Coach, first off, thank you, time for today. Real quick, just kind of tell everybody where they can find out more information, of course, on letsgoicc.com, but how they can get up with you if they have any other questions they might have concerns about.
Okay, really, you can sit out on my email, it's KMoore@ICC.MSEDU. You can send me a tweet, anything, KMoore41AMN on Twitter. And just like you said, follow the ICC page as far as football and athletics. We'll definitely put it out there. We have the application online as well with a couple of QR codes, should be on the flyer. So anybody can hit anybody up at ICC, try to get you there.
All right, Coach, I appreciate your time, and good luck on the camp.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renaissance Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe as we're continuing to get to learn more about some of our coaches here at ICC on the football staff. And a familiar face for a lot of those here at ICC, we got Coach Grant Kimberlin with us. And Grant, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Grant, you are one coach, but a former player here at ICC. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit of your football history.
Yeah, so originally from DeSoto County, graduated from DeSoto Central, and got the opportunity to come and play here at ICC. And had a great time at ICC, and all of the friends and relationships that I built here have continued to carry on into the professional career of being a coach here. But after I graduated at ICC, I went to play at Harding University in Arkansas. Played 2 years there, ended up being a conference champion, got that accolade, and then following my playing career, went up to Murray State, had the opportunity to be a graduate assistant, was up there for a year. Got the itch to coach my own position, so jumped across back into the state at Millsaps College. Got a great opportunity there with Coach Pelch and Brian Hayes. And then after leaving there, got the call and the opportunity to come back home to ICC, and took advantage of the opportunity and ran with it.
Well, just talk about that feeling getting to come back home, because that's what everybody says. You know, I got a chance to come home when they talk about ICC. What does home and ICC mean to you?
Man, home to me at ICC is the people. Really the relationships that I built as a student, I knew they would carry over later in life. And so, when I got the call to come back here and coach, one, it was a humbling opportunity to be back where I started my playing career, but also being around the people that really care about the student athletes, care about the program, care about the school, and care about the community. And that was very big in my decision, and coming back and bringing my family here. And it's been a great opportunity to be around these athletes, these people on campus, and making me feel right back at home again.
And you have that unique perspective, and let's start with your first perspective as a player. You're a big part of the offense while you were here. Just talk about your time, one, as a student athlete here at ICC.
Yeah, so student athlete at ICC, man, I had a great opportunity just to come and make a name for myself first. And so, coming out of high school, going to junior college, I didn't know much of it. And when I got here, and it was work. It was a lot of work, and that's one thing a lot of players want to get to, is an opportunity where they can work to their full potential. But just the student life, everything that we had when I was a student, we had big student involvement, and really just having multiple sports on campus was nice because we had other athletes on campus that were after the same mission as us. And so we got to collaborate with some basketball, baseball, and even soccer and some cheer that we got to know. And, all of us kept our mindset the same, and, hey, we're going to handle our academics. We're going to, enjoy each other, but we're also going to work. And so anytime we got the chance to, we would go work together, just to build our skills of life, one, but the community really played a big part into each person that I was with on that team, their success, because of that camaraderie that we built with other athletes.
And now your shoes on the other foot as a coach. How are you able to take those experiences as a student athlete here at ICC and build on those and help those students and student athletes have the same experience you had?
Yeah, so I think, being a student athlete here, I've lived in the dorms. I've taken the classes that they've taken. I've been in the study hall. I've been in a lot of these classes that the teachers are still here. And so being in that realm as a player and transitioning to a coach has really helped me navigate those athletes and what to do, what not to do. Everybody makes mistakes when they're young, so I made a few mistakes when I was young. So I've taken that under my wing and saying, hey, I'm going to make sure these athletes don't make the same mistakes that I did. I want to make sure they're on the right path to get their education, number one, but also to sign a 4-year scholarship. And that, being a player and seeing multiple athletes signed to Division I, Power 5 scholarships, it gave me that itch to get back and give back to these athletes that have that ability.
And now we got a new coaching staff here. So you were on the old coaching staff and transferred to the new one. Talk about the transition between staffs and just how it's been going for you.
Yeah, so transition, it was a whirlwind. A lot went on, with the transition, and it's been really good. As a young coach, my development is always growing, and as a coach would say, we're lifelong learners. And so I knew at the point where I was with the last staff was a great foundation that they built for me. But then with this staff coming in, they've got years of experience in the junior college level and a 4-year level, experience getting players to the next level and signing scholarships. So when I got the opportunity and Coach Macon asked me to stay, I took that under my wing to just go to work even harder. And, he's got a great foundation for what he sees this program can be. And honestly, as a student athlete that played here, I love hearing his vision because we've got so much potential at ICC that it's, and I don't mean this in a wrong way, but it's been untapped, with our local talent and with the guys we have on campus and this experienced staff that we've got. Really, we can really touch that ceiling with these players that we bring in and that we have on campus.
Now, you have had National Signing Day. You got your core group of guys in. What are you doing now to continue to get some new pieces of the puzzle in, but also get ready for the upcoming season?
Yeah, so we signed a great class, with several guys from the local area, but also some a little bit distant. But, right now we're really diving into the guys on campus, making sure we invest our time into them. Even though, we get good signees coming in, but we still need to invest in the guys that we want to be here. And, really right now we're just installing a little bit, trying to get going, get their bodies right, get their mental state back into football shape, and really just trying to see those guys flourish.
Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small town dealership, small town prices.
The slices and the sticks.
All I ever wanted for dinner was pizza, Marcy. And all I ever asked of you was steaks.
Don't choose. Get Little Caesar slices and sticks. Half pizza, half Italian cheese sticks. And Dane's awake.
Dane.
I smell bacon.
End the dinner drama with hot and ready slices and sticks. Or order online for new jalapeno or bacon sticks.
Pizza.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe, being presented by Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting renaissancebank.com. We're going to continue to learn more about our new coaching staff here with ICC football. And we're going to sit now and talk with Coach Dimitri Hill. And Coach Hill, man, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Going great. I'm glad to be here.
Well, first off, let everybody know who you are, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail a little bit later on in the. But you're new to the South, so kind of just give everybody a little background.
So I'm originally from the Washington, D.C. area. I've coached all over, though. I've coached in Texas, Florida, West Virginia, a lot of places, but I've never been to the South, so I'm happy to be here. It's exciting.
All right, so and you are the
offensive line
coach. So talk about what it takes, the mentality of being an offensive line coach, because you're dealing with guys that are you just got to be mean, physical, and in control at the same time.
I take offensive line very seriously because I played offensive line as well. And to speak to the mindset it's definitely a special mindset just because you're not really playing for accolades and stats. You don't really have any stats, so you're not playing for any glory. You're playing for just will and sheer just wanting to hurt the person across from you. So the mindset definitely has to be very, very aggressive, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to have a want to,
right?
Because you're not playing for anything glorious at all.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I will say we try to do, like say if there's a long run or a big play on offense, we always want to make sure, hey, you saw Dimitri pick up a key block that freed that run. So, that's a good point, and I've never really thought about is, as an offensive lineman, you're that dirty work guy. You go out to work, you grab your lunch pail and say, all right, y'all get on my back, let's go.
For sure. The team, I always tell the O-line in the beginning of the season or before the season is that you will be thanked for nothing but blamed for everything. So do your job to your best ability, because, it's not going to be easy, because when things are going bad, they're going to put everything on y'all. So
Yes. All right. Well, so your background in football, where did you play football?
Yes, I played at Delaware State 4 years. I was a 4-year starter there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you've been around. And how'd you find ICC?
Basically, I got introduced to Coach Macon, and we basically had a relationship. And I came with Coach AR from the same school in West Virginia, Bluefield State, and we basically just built a relationship with Coach Macon, and he told us to come on out here. I already knew about, not particularly ICC, but I knew about the Mississippi JUCOs just because I've coached at 3 different JUCOs, so I knew.
Gotcha.
I already knew.
And it's one of those, everybody calls it the little SEC. It's one of those, it has some tough competition in this. So what's it going to take for you to be a successful O-line coach?
I definitely got to do my job in recruiting and trying to get some good guys. I came in a little late this year, so hopefully I'm going to have to go out of state to get some guys. But definitely just got to get guys to trust me, get guys that want to buy into the system. And, that's basically it, man. Just get everybody, not just the O-line, everybody to buy in and want to win, At the end of the day, that's what it takes. It's everybody that buys in.
Well, let's just say I'm 6'6", 320. Why should I buy in on you?
I think I want the best for every guy that I coach. Our purpose here is to get you graduated and get you to the next level, and that's what I know as I talk to Coach Macon a lot and the rest of the coaches, that's what we pride ourselves on. We want to win games, don't get us wrong, but what really makes us feel good is getting guys to that next level and knowing that we had a part in that, or getting guys better or getting their grades right, or because it's not just about ability, it's about mental toughness and stuff like that too. A lot of guys aren't ready to go to the 4-year, so we get you ready for them 4-year mentally as well as physically.
Absolutely. Well, you said you got here a little late in the game, and you did. But let's just talk about your time at ICC so far. What is your impression on Itawamba Community College?
I think it's an amazing place, and I'm not just saying that. I've been, like I said, to quite a few JUCOs, and this is pretty as good as it gets. There might be a few better places, but this is nice. This gives a real college 4-year feel before you get to your actual 4-year, with the dorms and the CAF and just all the buildings and the help that you can get in classrooms with tutors and just everything. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I think it'll definitely get you prepared for your next level, even if you're just a regular student.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, what is your goal from right now? I know we got signing day behind us, so you've got your core of your guys that you know that are coming in. All right, so what is your role right now and your goals to get to summertime and then start making that step to get ready towards the season?
Right now, we're just working the guys out hard. Have to change the culture a little bit just because of the last coach was here for a while. So, he really had his hands on the program for a long time. So I know Coach Macon wants to, kind of change it to more of his pace and more of the things that he wants to do. And I think just getting the guys to buy in, man, changing some of their bodies. Some of the guys are really buying into the weight room stuff, and they're changing. You can see it in their bodies. And we basically just want to change that culture, man, change that culture and change the mindset. Once the mindset changes, then you can move forward. You can't really do anything without the mind, the body.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and good luck the rest of the way out.
All right, appreciate you.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe, being presented to you by Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting RenaissanceBank.com. We're going to continue to learn more about our football coaching staff here, and we've got Coach AR joining us now. And the reason why we say Coach AR is, well, he's got a very unique name. It's not a Southern name, to say the least, but we'll let Coach AR kind of tell you his name, and then we'll learn more about him. Coach, help everyone out that sees your name when it's in print. And I know you probably get tired of this all the time, but it's one of those like, okay, have to just bite this bullet and get that part over with.
Yeah, my last name is pronounced Anguiano, so, I got every English vowel in it, so, it's a bit of a booger to say.
Yeah, but as you said, people can call you Coach AR. Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your football background.
Yeah, I'm originally from Southern California. Grew up in Huntington Beach. Played some high school ball down there. Got a really early start in coaching, actually. I started coaching when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Broke into the high school ranks doing that for a little bit. I got my degree from Auburn University down here in Alabama. Went back to Southern California. Got my first college gig out there coaching junior college football at Fullerton College in 2017. I was the running backs coach there. From there, bounced over to the 4-year level. I was at University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff for 2.5 years. Spent really the 18, 19, and 20 season there as an assistant receivers coach and running backs coach. Unfortunately lost the 20 season due to the whole COVID.
Yeah.
And then I took an opportunity actually up in West Virginia to coach some Division II football at the 4-year level, upstart program called Bluefield State University. We went up there and essentially started a program from scratch with absolutely nothing, and had a pretty solid 2-year run, considering, we're essentially going into every game, a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids playing, teams that got seniors and stuff. So, really kick-started that up here and, had an opportunity down here with Coach Macon and learned a lot about ICC and kind of the culture of Mississippi JUCO. And I was like, that sounds like something that, I'd love to do. So, I leapt at the opportunity when it was presented.
Well, I want to step back a second. You talked about basically building a program from scratch.
Yeah.
Man, you can learn a lot as a coach and take a lot of valuable lessons away from that. What were some of the valuable lessons you learned in that? Because it wasn't an easy chore, to say the least.
No, it wasn't. And going into it, it's like, you think you know everything, and you think that at every place you go, and then you get to the new spot, and, you learn something different. And that was definitely one of those places, you can't neglect every little detail because, especially when you're dealing with kids that are that young, you tell them something and they're going to take it to the most literal sense. And, even just language things in the game, you might tell a kid, hey, I want you to line up to the field and I want you to line up to the boundary here. Well, some kids are going to look at you and be like, what the heck's a boundary, coach? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
One guy might know, the next guy might not. So, just from a communication aspect, you can't neglect those little things. Everybody wants to talk about football, X's and O's, but before you can even get into that, you got to teach the kids how to communicate and talk the talk first. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere.
Absolutely. What are you coaching here at ICC?
I'm an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach.
All right. So, what's your mentality as an offensive coordinator? What are you as an offensive coordinator? Like, what is your game plans? How do you go about attacking? What's your plan there?
Yeah, I'd say we're a spread up-tempo football team. Kind of our whole philosophy is we want to use every blade of grass on the football field. Not just up and down the field, but we're moving the defense left to right as well. The whole goal, being to try to get as many plays into the game. We think plays equals points if you want to look at it that way. And again, we want to stretch the field left to right in order to try to get them tired out a little bit. So later on in the game, we can kind of start taking some, body shots to them and wear them down. And again, we do a good job achieving it, getting the ball out quick with quarterbacks and, obviously taking downfield shots and things like that. But very much so as well, I do want to maintain some balance and get to running the football as well. So, we're not going to be a one-sided offense. I don't plan on being in here and, throwing it 100 times a game. But, we definitely want to achieve balance. And, when you talk about balance in today's game, a lot of people think 50-50 is balance, but, it does sort of tilt to pass nowadays, the rules. So, I think if you can hit about 60% pass, 40% run, I think you're a true balanced team in today's, day and age, at least in the college game. Right. NFL is probably a little different, but I think that's true balance, really.
So what have you learned about the Mississippi JUCO system since you've been here?
Just the love for ball down here, really. These schools are really treated like 4-year institutions. It's very competitive. a lot of, guys on our staff have been doing this a while, and they've been kind of, invaluable really in teaching me kind of the ins and outs of, the local recruiting and things like that. And then just learning about the other programs and kind of the traditions that they have and stuff, it's, like I said, it's exciting. So kind of the more I look into it, the more I'm like, I'm really impressed with kind of, not just here at ICC, but, what the whole JUCO circuit down here is kind of doing. So, I'm just excited to get everything going, really.
And how has your transition to ICC been?
It's been very, very quick. I feel like, I just got here and, I've actually already been here over a month, but, I've just been nonstop working, trying to get, the final pieces of the puzzle in and organize what we're going to do for the spring, obviously keep developing our kids in the weight room and stuff like that, keep them on track academically, but finally been able to kind of breathe a little bit the last week or so, but, it's been fun, really, if you ain't working, you ain't trying, so.
Absolutely.
I'd rather be working than sitting around.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. So what's your impressions on the college? I mean, what is when you first stepped on campus versus now, what have you learned about ICC?
Yeah, like I said, I was blown away. I mean, really, I was when I first got here. I thought I was stepping onto a 4-year institution. The first thing they showed me was the basketball arena, and I'm walking in there, and people are trying to tell me, hey, can you come here, come look at this, and I'm just like dumbstruck by the basketball arena. I'm like, can I go take pictures real quick? And then we were able to tour the campus a little bit, and just looking at all the resources that ICC has to offer, and academically as well as football wise, it's like. Again, I feel like I'm at a university. People talk about community college as a 2-year thing, but this feels like a 4-year thing here. So, I'm very thankful to be here.
Absolutely. Now, I know I've got a lot of friends that listen to the show, and I'll be remiss by not saying this. They heard you say where you're from, and you already know I'm a Notre Dame guy.
Oh yeah,
you're not a fan of that school down there.
I'm not. I grew up a Notre Dame fan.
Okay, see, that's the reason why we're actually doing this interview. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I have a gold and green Brady Quinn jersey back at home.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for my friends that were listening, they're like, okay, there's no way that these two guys can get along as much as Gore hates SC. So,
right. Yeah.
So
the only local team that I actually grew up liking was the I guess it'd be LA Angels.
Okay.
Really, I mean, I was the guy that loved going against the grain. So like, I was a Celtics fan.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because all my friends were Laker fans.
Yep.
I was a Notre Dame fan because all my friends were SC fans. I just liked, getting under people's skin. So.
Yeah, see, I knew I liked you. That's another reason I liked you. Well, Coach, I'll give you one opportunity, kind of anybody that's out there listening want to get to know you. What can you tell them? And I guess this would be your chance to be a recruiting pitch for anybody that might be interested in coming to ICC.
Right. I would say get eyes on it because it sells itself. It's really a beautiful campus. The people here have been incredibly hospitable. Again, all the resources that this place has to offer is, again, there's more resources here than some of the 4 years out there. I'm not saying that, in a negative light towards anybody, but it just speaks to the testament that the people here and the effort that the people here have put into building this place and making it special. So that's all I would say is make sure you get eyes on it because, when I got eyes on it, I fell in love with this. So, that would be my recruiting pitch with it.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe. We're going to continue to learn more about our new football coaches here at ICC. And, it's a new coach, but a familiar face here at ICC and a big-time name here in the history of ICC football. We got Coach Kareem Moore joining us on the show now. And Kareem, thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me, Adam.
Well, Kareem, for those that don't know you, give you a little bit of where you're from and background of football.
Born and raised Oklahoma, Mississippi, the little town that does big things.
There you go.
Background started off my 2003. I signed with Ole Miss after only playing 1 year high school football. Went there, redshirted my first year. Second year played. Ended up being a freshman All-American. Had a coaching change, ended up coming to Itawamba. Definitely had a great experience here. Really, helped me, grow mentally and physically, as a player, but also, as a man, young man. The coaches here, Coach Terrell, Coach Jackson, all of those guys that was here definitely took me under their wings, kind of showed me the way. Light kind of came on from me, kind of added the experience I had at Ole Miss and here once I went to Nicholls State. Actually finished up the year, was newcomer of the year my first year there, defensive player of the year my second year.
Nice.
Ended up being an All-American there as well. Had a chance to go play for the Washington Redskins, get drafted 6th round, pick 180. I remember it, like it was yesterday. Definitely was a great experience for me. Something great, ended up starting 3 out of my 4 years there. A couple knee injuries. I actually took some time off to see what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to do insurance, teaching, or coaching. Ended up getting the coaching profession. Did 1 year in high school at my alma mater, Oklahoma High School. Try to give back, try to help some guys, on and off the field, just try to help them reach their potential. Finished up there prior, I think, 2012, 13, ended up going to Northeast, really starting getting into coaching with Coach Smithers there, Coach Jackson, one of my old coaches that was here. Definitely was a great learning experience, but also put me in the mindset of taking from a player perspective more to a coach. The aspects behind the scenes, a lot of work that you would have to do that I did have to do as a player, but really wanted to help them grow as a man, better husband, better father, more than a better football player.
Right.
Definitely had some great time developing guys there my 5 years there. Once I left, ended up going to Marion High School in Arkansas, right across the bridge in Memphis. Stayed a year there, then got hooked up with Coach Macon at Kahoma, kind of changed the program, put it in the right trajectory going up. Then, had the opportunity to come back home, and I couldn't say no. Definitely jumped on it. And right now, we're in the building process of trying to rebuild, but also at the same time, put a good product out there. Had a great signing class this year as far as recruiting. Definitely got some great pieces in-house right now that we're going to add to, develop those guys right now in the spring. So I know it'll be a great situation coming this fall. Just got to put a lot of work in.
Well, let's jump back a little bit, and it's every football player's dream to hear their name called in the draft. Talk about it. You say you remember it like it's yesterday. Talk about that moment.
The moment, man, really, kind of bittersweet, and I mean bittersweet. I enjoyed it. It was great. Had a couple calls before I got picked round 4, round 5. Hey guys, we might take you if you're on the board. Guys didn't call when that pick came up. Took another safety in front of me, which is part of the business. Right. But then got that call from Washington. Talked with the GM, the head coaches, also the owner. Then 5 minutes later, they're telling me, hey, you got to go have surgery in Alabama next week. You're going to see Coach Dr. Andrews. So it was, like I said, it's kind of bittersweet, but at the same time, like I knew, had a previous injury in the All-Star game out in El Paso. So knew what I was getting into, but they also knew. But it showed me that, hey, they're willing to draft me, knowing I needed surgery, a minor surgery at that, but just really, I knew the value of myself, and they did too. So it definitely was a great experience.
Absolutely. And what was the biggest thing you took away from the NFL, or maybe what's something that fans don't realize, about the NFL as a player that you experienced?
I would say the business side, the grind. What I mean is, this is a job, but at the same time, we're out there, we get paid to play a kid's game, but it's more 90% mental. Like I found that out after I transferred from Ole Miss to Itawamba to Nicholls. That was more a mental game than a physical game, just really studying in the classroom more, being prepared more, knowing what's about to come before it happens. Just really trying to help my players get there, but also that was the point where my coaches helped me, and then the game kind of slowed down for me. So I think that's a transitional thing where a coach has to help that player develop more, where they can see it more instincts-wise.
Yeah, I think that's a great attribute to have as a coach. They can look at you. You've been there. You've done that on a big level. They're going to listen to you more. They're going to say, okay, coach knows what he's talking about here, versus that I'm not knocking any other coach, because obviously every coach puts their hard work in, but you've been there, done that. So that's going to help your kids dig in a little bit more when it comes to like listening and doing what you say.
Yeah, and hopefully it does now.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Different kids. Yeah, hopefully it does.
Yeah. And I tell them, I wouldn't tell you anything that I haven't seen or been through myself. And I always not to say my experience, but other people, other coaches that I have been through or listened to, or say if we go to a professional development where we're going to visit a university, you know, I try to bring those back as well and give them those gems. So, hey, they might not use it while they're here at ICC, but they probably can use it, hey, once they get to their 4 year, or, hey, you know what, they can help somebody else, whether high school level, above them, or what have you.
Absolutely. Now, signing day is behind us, but just talk about that whole and I'm going to go ahead and call it madness, because you guys got in here late, and you really had to hit the ground running. And when I say hit the ground running, like basically you got here, they said, hey, welcome by. You know, get out there and go recruit. Just talk about that madness of what was getting to National Signing Day.
And it's always hectic, I would say that. But this time definitely was. I think it was less than 3 weeks. We had a chance to, you know, get out, go to certain high school, meet with the players, the coaches, their families, you know, and recruit them all as a whole. Right. It was one thing where, you know, it's a good thing to be a good recruiter, but also, you know, I tell people it's more so relationship-wise. You know, hey, did you go see that coach before? Did you talk with him? You got a good relationship, good rapport where, hey, you know what, they could trust you, you know, coming in, recruiting their kids. So, but it was a great thing. Like I said, we was going left and right. Some days I didn't know where I was going, you know, as far as, hey, you're going to be down south, up north, but like I said, we got a great group of kids, especially from the area. The district was definitely strong. I think it's a thing where now, if we can keep building on that, to get area kids, bringing in attendance, things of that nature, where, hey, we get great players, should have a great outcome.
Absolutely. Now, signing day is behind us. What is your vision? What is your goal now up until the guys get here for summer training camp?
I think the goal now, take care of the guys you have in-house, you know, do some more so, hey, make sure they're physically, mentally, and spiritually strong. That's something we always preach, you know, because sometimes, you know, when adversity hits, you know, 17, 18, 19-year-old, you know, might fold, but we're going to put them through a lot of fires this spring practice, workouts. Coach Lucas doing a great job in the weight room, just really getting those guys' body changed as far as, you know, the physical look. Then it's on the other coaches, you know, get the mental as far as meeting times, teach them the scheme, and different drills that we want to perfect until fall comes.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Ooh, fumble. Let's give her a Renaissance replay. Make the right call with Renaissance and get cell phone protection with Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking. Sign up today.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Sign up for Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
When I think of ICC, I think about home.
The moment I stepped on campus, I knew it was a perfect fit.
It helped me find my true self.
It has opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed.
Everyone here wants you to succeed.
I was able to get involved here and make a real difference.
I've met my closest friends here. There's something for everyone to be involved with.
I've gained skills to succeed in the workforce.
It's been the best experience.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe. It's being brought to you by Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting renaissancebank.com. We're going to join with Coach Lucas now. Coach Justin Lucas, one of the new members of our ICC football staff. And Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach. Well, you're a familiar name in the area, but tell everybody a little bit about where you're from and your football background.
Okay, so I'm originally from Aberdeen, Mississippi. Born and raised. Started my playing career there. Once I went to college, I chose to go play at East Mississippi for 2 years. I was part of the 2 national championship football teams. I left there in December 2014 and signed with Troy University. Finished my last 2 years there. Was bowl game MVP of the bowl game. Was also MVP of my national championship game in 2014. Then I got into coaching right after. I was a graduate assistant for 3 years on that staff at Troy University, and then I transferred in, and I left 2019 and went to Fallon University in NAIA school in Montgomery, Alabama. Was there for 2 years. Then at the end of 2020, I came to Oklahoma Community College. Was there for 2 seasons, and now I'm over here at ICC right now.
So you've got that pedigree, that national championship pedigree. It kind of grabs players' attention. Talk about how you can talk about your experience from winning those national championships, being MVP in the bowl game, MVP in the national championship, and kind of give that knowledge and that drive to reach those same goals to your players?
The biggest thing I could teach them is first is trying to establish a mentality. And I think that's the biggest thing that we have to start right there. To be a national champion, to be a MVP, to win multiple games, because winning is hard on every level. JUCO, Division I, Division II, NAIA, whatever level you are, winning is hard. High school as well. So the number one thing is mentality, and the number two thing is, I would say, is preparation. You have to prepare to be great. Destiny favors the prepared. It's something that I always live by. And I'm going to teach them how to be students of the game, how to prepare their mind, prepare their body, and just be ready to attack. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to be winners, but nobody really wants to put in the work and know how to work. And that's the biggest thing I could teach them, because from experience. Biggest thing with me is I had really good coaches at all my levels as well, and they taught me how to prepare, not only mentally but physically and emotionally as well. You know what I'm saying? Because the emotional part of it is a pretty big thing too, highs and lows of a season. So that's the biggest thing I could basically, my focus is giving to my players.
And you've been able to use that same focus in your turnaround here at ICC, because it was quick. The hire came a little bit later than, most hires would have been in that situation. So you're behind the 8 ball when it came to hitting the ground recruiting. So just to talk about your transition here to ICC so far.
Like I said, we did get behind in recruiting. But luckily, most of our guys was signing on the February signing day. So we was able to go in and heal some relationships that we had. And I think the biggest thing is sorting how late that we started. If you go watch our class that we signed, we probably signed one of the best classes, I wouldn't just say in history here, but one of the most talented classes in the state. We kind of fought with some guys that have established programs, and we beat some of those schools out on some of these kids. And that just goes to show you the hard work that we put in a short period of time. I think the biggest thing that helped us is me being from this area, Coach Moore being from this area, Coach Mackey's from Starkville, you know what I mean, Coach Grant's from DeSoto. So we had a bunch of Mississippi ties within our staff. And we used some of those ties, like a lot of those people that saw us grow up and play and knew what type of players we was, and now they're trusting us with their kids as well and coaching. So, we got behind a little bit, but I think we did a great job as staff at just hitting the ground running, and we able to mend some of those build the relationships. And I think we did a great job with this freshman class.
Now, how has your experience personally been since you've been here at ICC?
It's been great. It's been great. Everything's been great. Staff, not only our staff, football staff, but admissions, housing, you know what I mean, the media guy team, like everybody's been so open and welcome, and everybody has been great for us. We did a really good job in recruiting, but I think we saw a lot of our kids and our parents when we brought them on campus, and they saw all the unlimited resources that our kids have. The setup is great. You know what I mean? You could come in and you can get a really good experience, not only as an athlete, but just a student in general, with the living and the food and everything they provide for you in the school aspect. So this is a really great place. I would definitely send my kids here to go to school.
Well, Coach, now that signing day's behind you, you got a chance to kind of catch your breath just for a second. You don't really have a whole lot of that. What's the focus now, and what's one of your biggest goals as a coach before the guys get here for spring training or summer training?
Yeah, so the biggest focus right now is focus on the sophomores that we have in our building right now. I'm also the strength and conditioning coach as well. So we've been in the weight room 4 times a week. We're starting to get prepared for spring ball. Again, like I said, we're gonna be a really, really, really young team next year because we're trying to get better freshmen. But we are going to count on a lot of sophomores to step up to be really good impact players for us. So the biggest thing is introducing the scheme. Watching a little film. But more and more changing their bodies, getting their body equipped to, you know what I mean, be able to withstand a long, drawn-out season. So my biggest goal is to make sure we get all our installs in, make sure from a strength conditioning point, make sure everybody gets stronger, faster, and quicker. And just from a defensive coordinator aspect, just try to get all the installs that we want in. We're not going to do too much in. We just want to get the basics of the calls in and really trying to evaluate what some guys. We're going to move some guys around position-wise from last year. So just trying to see where everybody fits and trying to glue it all together.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. I know it's a busy day for you, and good luck getting ready to move forward.
All right, I appreciate it.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.